holy, holy, holy. The light that is not only within you, but is you, is shining right now. To meet that light is just a simple place of recognition that you are God's, that you are God's creation, that you are God's precious oneness, that the holiness, the light that is within, has never diminished, has never ceased, has never changed in any way. The light, the holiness that is within you, that is you, has been forgotten, and another identity came into your awareness, an identity that was completely fabricated in the name of separation, an identity that insisted it was a battleground, and that the fear of death was accurate. And the belief in scarcity was held sacredly. And yet, the light of God keeps calling to you. Through every lifetime, God has been calling to you and has held the door open. But the fear has been so acute that the ego mind was completely convincing that to go through that open door would be disastrous, that you would lose your freedom. But as everything of the ego is upside down, this lie was also upside down. To walk through the door of love is to embrace freedom, embrace your true existence. Holy, holy, holy. Imagine your heart singing, constantly singing, holy, holy, holy. Imagine your heart all day long recognizing beloveds as yourself and singing, holy, holy, holy. And in a way, after the declaration of your holiness and the recognition of everyone's holiness, there's not much to say. The words become not that important because you have acknowledged the truth of God and you can rest there. As you enter through the open door that calls you to freedom, calls you back to love, you can begin to truly rest. Resting, held, because you are so loved. To be love itself and to be loved is the abundance of life. There is an element within the ego identity that wants to control even the offering of love. There's a belief that runs within every beloved that says, I can't take too much love in. It's just too much. I have to be cautious. But love is calling you to be no longer cautious, to accept wholeheartedly the truth that you are loved and that you are so loved. The nourishment of love itself is beyond comprehension until you say, yes, bring it on. Bring it on and let it pour. Let it rain. Let it flood. But the caution from the ego says, be more cautious. While the spirit of love is saying, there's no purpose in caution. And the spiritual journey is not a place for caution. Life in limitation says caution is reasonable. But life, opening to love, says throw away the caution. Jump in. This is the everyday choosing. When you feel the caution, ignore it. Refuse it. Laugh at it. And declare your holy intention to no longer be cautious with love. To feel and to embrace that desire within to come home, to return to God, to return to God, to return to freedom, to return to peace, and to return to joy, the truth of your being. Your holiness is perfection itself. You don't have to fine-tune it. You don't have to alter it. repair it. It's completely intact. And everywhere that you go, your holiness goes with you. It is what you are. So in this moment of love and holiness, the willingness meets the truth. This moment is filled with the grace of truth itself. This moment is everything, complete, perfect. Sacred. Affirming in this moment your heart's longing. The longing is only because you aren't aware of the holiness that is already within. It's very much like wishing for a particular Christmas present and then realizing you already have it. Just accept the holiness is already all that you are. And affirming that here in the infinite circle of love, there truly is only oneness. The oneness is already and always has been all that there truly is. Affirming in this moment that the universe is all love and that your holiness is that universe, is that love. This sanctuary is filled with love because nothing else exists. To affirm that there is only one presence here, and that presence is the life force of God. And that life force is within you. And as you discover that life force of God, that spirit, that holiness, the recognition comes that we live and move and breathe in that life force. In the recognition of all that is holy, you may not change an appearance from the outside. Those who don't recognize the light may still see you as they've always seen you. But the peace within you, when it is accepted and embraced and lived, the holiness that you truly are, for those beloveds who are beginning to stir in their journey of love, they will recognize the peace. They will recognize the light. Maybe not fully, maybe not totally, but they will. They will be touched. And they will be blessed because all that you will offer is peace and joy, absence of caution. Confidence in love. That is the truth of your true self. One presence is here. It is the life force of God. And truly, that's all that exists. So in this moment, the willingness to live the moment without caution, accepting the holiness that is the truth of you. In the perfection of love. This prayer calls you to that holiness by praying to elevate your awareness, to elevate your awareness of peace from within, and to completely empty the mind, surrender the mind into the hands of God, and affirming the brilliance of love that is present in everything and in everyone. Elevate my awareness, oh dear God, right here while I am walking this earth. I ask to see and to be with the brilliance of creation. The brilliance of creation is a light that shines. And this light that shines sings in my heart, and it invigorates my awareness. I am here to sing. I am here to praise all divine beings that walk with all of humanity, praising the divine beings that lead the way and serve love. Here I am singing. Elevei o pensamento a Deus lá nas alturas para reconhecer o brilho da formosura, o brilho da formosura, em uma luz de alento que limpa meu coração e vigora meu pensamento. Aqui eu vou contando que a minha vida é essa, viva rejuramidão. E a rainha da floresta can a prayer be so powerful that in that prayer that you can ask to have your mind elevated in the truth of love, and that prayer is answered, and all of the thoughts that you thought you had just disappear, and your mind is bathing in the truth of love, in the truth of the exquisite light, and in the blessings that are constant within the grace of God. Prayer is that powerful. Prayer has the power to transform because prayer is speaking, what do you want? What is most helpful for you? And when you ask, when you let your prayer, your heart be filled with that communion, that prayer is heard, that prayer is answered, and the power of God transforms through your invitation. Caution is something that also occurs with prayer. There's a caution for most that says, oh, I'll give myself one prayer a day with caution. Instead, pray all day. Open to the communion with God all day. Sing from your heart all day. And let it fill your awareness that you are always heard. In this prayer, this prayer is just saying, teach me, I'm available. Show me the way. Teach me to open my heart to those who come here to be healed. Teach me to open my heart to this love, to heal all this pain of this world. We have strayed from the love of our Father and wandered in pain since our birth. It was Jesus who came here to save us all, to release all this pain here on earth. Oh, my mother, the queen of the sea, it's your love that I feel inside me. Teach me to love from the depth of my heart, to heal all the pain that I see. My Father is here with his love. He knows how to care for us all. He loves everyone who has answered this call, all those who have answered his call. We have strayed from the love of our Father and wandered in pain since our birth. There is a remembering in that every beloved is in the search to return home. And celebrating that call to remember. Not seeing it as a place of lack, but to recognize that you're called to return to the truth. Is the grace of this lifetime. Because you have walked so many lifetimes in the desert, and now It's coming into the oasis that is fed through love. Oh, my mother, the queen of the sea, it's your love that I feel inside me. It is the love of the Divine Mother, the Divine Father that is within you. And it is the truth of you. It's all one. It's all perfect. And it's all ready to awaken. That shield that you hold. There is a shield you may still hold because of so many battles. I guess another conflict might begin any moment. So maybe lugging it about could be of some use. Or is it just an undermining habit? Does it get heavy? So much so that you sometimes carry it on your head at noon? And then do wonder with your insecurities so intact about casting darkness as fear can shadows? Even if the sun is out, if God is really all around in the middle of this beautiful day or night, we're here to remember. Yes, how amazing that a small umbrella or an illusion held over your head or clung to can hide the stupendous fact of infinite light. That's the game that the ego plays within the world, the everyday. The belief that there is a shield that you may still be holding on to because you still believe that there may be a battle that you will need that shield for. And the question does become, doesn't it get heavy? And do you really want to carry that around on your head? Well, no one really wants to carry that around anymore. But there is a voice that keeps insisting that caution is a good idea. It doesn't matter whether caution is a good idea within the world of regular life, but in the spiritual journey, it definitely isn't helpful. Caution is a byproduct of the belief of being separate. And it's used because of the belief in battles. Everyone builds a shield of caution. It's not really conscious for the most part. But as you walk and learn within the spiritual journey, as you start to truly surrender you begin to notice the caution. But it still seems kind of like legitimate. But here is the end of caution. The end of caution is the realization that you are in the safety of God's love. You are held, and you are in the grace of God all the time. You can't be without that grace, because you can't be without the source of life. So there is a calling to no longer give caution value. To let go of caution doesn't mean that you are more knowing. It doesn't mean that all of a sudden you have information that you need to express. The caution has to do with fear of opening your heart. Well, teach me to open my heart. Teach me to let go of the caution that I use. I don't have to be cautious. No one has to be cautious in love. If you offer love, if you offer blessings, if you offer your heart, you won't be hurt. You can't be hurt. It's not like the idea of love in the world that plays a game of, oh, I opened my heart and then I got rejected. That's the world of illusion. When you offer your heart, your true heart, the true love, you do so without conditions. There's nothing to be cautious about. You're just recognizing the brilliance of each beloved and just offering your heart, offering peace, offering compassion, offering your true honesty of your being. There's nothing to hold back, because in the world, the belief of love is that if I open my heart and offer love, I will be not only possibly hurt, but I will be without. I will give it away and I won't have it anymore. But in the truth of love, when you offer your heart, you're the love that you are, and the love of all divinity expands within you. You're not left with less. You actually increase the love that is the truth of you. The more love you offer without caution, the more you expand as love and recognize that divine light that you are. It creates, and you begin to recognize your creation with God, because you are creating and expanding the truth of love. There's a game that the ego plays that is a painful game. And it's a game that's mostly unconscious. which is that all of this grace is pouring and all of these teachings are available, and the nourishment of your soul, the nourishment of your spirit. But so many beloveds, in their caution, they want to parse the teachings, taking some of them and some rejecting some of them because they don't fit into what the ego wants. And that's how caution gets used spiritually. Wanting to turn things in just a way so that it's acceptable to the beliefs you already have, instead of, I don't know, but I'm willing to dive into every teaching and trust the teaching to transform my awareness. If you can enter into every teaching with the humility of declaring, I do not know what anything means. I'm not going to bring the meaning that I think I already have to any teaching. I'm going to come open, without caution, and drink in the teaching. And as you drink in that teaching, and you pray and you ask, I'm willing to see the truth. I'm willing, without caution, to start coming through that door. And in that yes, Spirit can illuminate the truth within the teaching, because you're completely available to it. It isn't that the teaching isn't available, it's that there is a caution that's being put in front. The mind says immediately, when there is a teaching that is goes against the beliefs of separation, and the ego responds with a quick thought that usually isn't even registered, that says, if I accept that teaching, I can't have what I've always fantasized I will have within the world. So I can't accept that teaching the way it's offered. I have to twist it around so that it meets my fantasies of the past. Eventually, all of that has to go, and does go, because it makes for such a disturbance within that the spiritual journey becomes a battle. And the spiritual journey is not a battle. The ego only battles with the ego. Love doesn't battle. So the more that you can truly surrender and say, I'll accept whatever you are giving me, God, that will help me to remember, I will accept it. I will put my faith in the teachings that are sent to me. Whether they come in words or they come in awareness or prayers, I will accept. And I will I will depend on those teachings to lead the way. Because as the teachings of love lead the way and they're accepted, the ego starts to fall off. The old identity isn't able to stay tethered. Everybody has had this experience spiritually that all of a sudden clarity comes. This beautiful clarity, just, oh, and the awareness of truth is just there after maybe struggling with a teaching that is difficult to accept or difficult to try to understand. But then there's a letting go, and the truth becomes so clear. And happiness comes with that. Because whenever a truth enters, it can't help but bring joy. Because it is the truth of you. Yes, how amazing that a small umbrella or an illusion held over your head or clung to can hide the infinite truth of light. All of a sudden, you can be aware of that infinite truth of light. And you can all of a sudden see, yeah, why have I been holding on to this shield? And you even recognize the shield. How are you recognizing the shield? Through grace, through the illuminated truth that lets you see that you've been holding on to a shield, and that the shield is not your friend, that you don't have to be cautious anymore. You don't have to be holding back from opening your heart, because love is wanting to lead you all the time, all the time. There is no situation, no moment in your journey of love that love is not serving you and not guiding you and not directing you and blessing you. There is a beautiful teaching that affirms you cannot be your own guide to miracles, because it was you that made them necessary, in the sense that your belief in separation stands in the way, and the purpose of miracles is to transform the belief of separation that you carry. So we have to depend on the guidance of teachings, the guidance of divine beings, the guidance of love. And it's always available, always. How many times have you picked up a sacred teaching and immediately that sacred teaching speaks to you and it transforms whatever was in the way? It's medicine. It's the deepest, most beautiful medicine of light. It isn't just words. It's a transformational vibration of light that enters your awareness and opens your clarity. opens you to a deeper truth. It's truly medicine. It's the most powerful medicine that was ever created, because that medicine has to be so powerful, because in the journey, the caution wants to go slower or go and control something. But take the medicine. Take it for your life. Take the medicine, not just for the moment, but to transform your awareness and to bring all the healing love that your journey is all about. There was a beautiful teaching many years ago that held in my heart for the whole journey of remembering. And the question was, what is the difference between someone who can swim and someone who can't swim? And the only difference is that one believes and the other doesn't. If you don't believe you can swim, you won't swim. If you believe you can swim, because the strokes are easy, everybody can dog paddle. But if you believe you're going to sink, you're going to sink. That's the power that we have in the mind, whether it's in caution and resistance or it's in the yes. And love is calling you to the yes. Love is calling you to not be cautious, but to truly open to the light of God and to the medicine that is generously, constantly offered in every way. I can remember in the spiritual journey contemplating how was it possible that in this seemingly unsophisticated spiritual life, so many blessings could come with so many teachings. How was that possible? And just opening to the profoundness of I was being given everything. That while I was just walking around, love was pouring grace just through the smallest yes. And there was no caution from the other side. There was no stinginess in the grace that was offered, in the blessings of the teachings. There was no stinginess. There was no holding back. Grace was pouring. Could I accept it? Was the only question. Could I give up the caution, the hesitation, the doubt, and just say yes as deeply and as fully as possible, and then accept that that grace was already within, and that the light was already here, and that the blessings and perfection, the holiness was already here. I didn't recognize it. I didn't experience it until I did, but just the acceptance. First, the acceptance. I could not be left without. That's what every teaching said. You will not be without. God's grace is pouring down. Could I accept it? The power of your acceptance is the power of transformation. But it's not just a general acceptance. It's a day-to-day acceptance of the truth of all teachings and then living them. But if you accept the teachings, then it becomes easy to live them. If you resist the teachings and want to parse the teachings, then it appears to be a deeper struggle because there's a battle within. So that's the calling to let go of the caution. Because all of love, all of the universe of love is wanting to just rain down on you with grace and blessings and truth and light. There's this beautiful teaching that says, the peace of God is my one goal, the aim of all my living here, the end I seek, my purpose and my function and my life. My purpose, my function, and my life. There's no caution there. It's a declaration, a recognition. It's a recognition that most beloveds in the spiritual journey actually already have. But the caution kind of whispers or yells, no, keep your caution. Don't see it as your function, your purpose, and your life. Be a little bit more cautious. But love is calling you not to be cautious anymore. I spoke to a beloved today who has declared being an atheist. And they mentioned to me how touched they were when they saw the Pope and the words that he spoke. It wasn't about doctrine. It was a stirring of the heart by another heart. That beloved received a blessing. It was radiating through this beloved's words that he was so touched. That's the power that you have within you. Your heart is that illumined heart. It is your life, it is your function, it is your purpose, and it is the end that you seek. To remember all of love and to come home to that love, to be that love that you are. You have the power within you of truth, of light, of holiness that blesses every beloved. Energetically, let go of the caution. You can just be sitting You can be sitting in a restaurant and let your love pour. No one will be really aware necessarily that you are pouring love, and yet you're called to just pour that love. To see the breathtakingly beautiful light that is every beloved. Wherever you are, somebody says something that strikes you as rude or strange or whatever, go past it. Go past it and offer the love. Offer the blessings that are the truth of your heart. Don't stay under the umbrella trying to keep the illusion of separation. The shield gets heavy, for sure. And you don't need it anymore. You never needed it, but you definitely don't need it now. The universe is all love. You're just joining with what is and what you are, declaring your light, not with a loudspeaker, but with the joy as you offer love. That joy is to not see anything else. Imagine that no one is offensive. No one is a problem. No one is a challenge. They're just the light of God waiting to be recognized. And you have the power to recognize that light through your own light. Your patience with your beloved is your patience with yourself. It is your patience with yourself. When you are patient, you are in trust with God. You are trusting in God. When you are impatient, you are in a distrust and believing that you have to have a solution or have the answer to something. But Spirit is your answer. Spirit will guide you. And in that, your patience can expand. Your trust in God expands, and your patience is the manifestation of that trust in God. Impatience is painful. It may seem just regular because everybody is so used to having impatience with certain elements, but it's actually a painful place because there isn't any peace and you're not in touch with your open heart. And that's where love is calling you, to your open heart. Oh, teach me to open my heart. Just the willingness to open your heart will be opened. And there is a place as your heart opens that fear enters. It feels like you're maybe going to explode, or you won't have any awareness of your old identity anymore as your heart expands. But that's where the trust is so essential, and the letting go of caution, that you're putting your faith in God, that God will not make your heart expand so much that you're going to explode. Your ego is going to explode. It's going to explode and it's going to disappear. It didn't have any worth to begin with. It was made up. But your heart expanding is not a dangerous place. It's the natural healing that you came for. As your heart expands, as your heart opens, the strangest thing happens is your mind can't compete anymore. Your mind, all your thoughts are no longer viable. And you return the mind to God. Let your heart expand and be expanded. It's the blessing you've been waiting for. It's the purpose, the aim of all my living here. The purpose of this time. The peace of God is your one goal. And peace is connected to the heart. You are peace. You are love. You are joy. You don't have to be cautious. There are no tricks in God that will play a funny game of taking things back or making a game out of it. It's all love. It's your birthright. It's what you came here for. Not just this moment, but it's what you incarnated for. Because you're here to remember. And to burst into the love that you are. The light. The holiness. And that light, that holiness, holds no caution. The peace of God is my one goal. The aim of all my living here. Next time somebody asks you what you do for a living, I'm here to remember the peace of my true nature. I'm here without caution, learning to love. Thank God for this lifetime of remembering. Thank God that we were all mistaken in the belief of separation. Thank God only love is real. Thank God we don't have to be cautious anymore.